simple trick that will make you incredibly smart. No, this isn't an exaggeration, nor is it clickbait. What is the trick? Let's jump directly into it. We all face problems on a daily basis, from the moment we wake up until we go to sleep. Many of these problems are repetitive in nature. Why? Because you haven't solved them, nor have you found a solution. A lot of you are walking through life with your problems, which have somehow become an extension of yourself. You aren't much bothered because these problems don't have an immediate effect. The consequences will manifest in the long term. For example, dysfunctional relationships, bad habits, poor sleeping patterns, friendships, or our tendency to make impulsive, random decisions. Other issues include the burden of guilt, self-hatred, dissatisfaction, regret from the past, regret from last night, and accumulating regret from yesterday with each passing day. Disappointment with yourself and confusion about your identity. These are just a few examples. As a result, we often turn to Google, searching for things like, how to fix my life, how do I get over this person, or how do I stop being lazy? And as intelligent beings, we are programmed to initiate to responses, seek advice online, or find solutions in books. Thus, we buy self-help books, hoping to find the right answers. But where do we place our faith the most? In human psychology. The moment we hear this term, our brain becomes assured that we are going to find a permanent fix for our problems. But here's the thing, psychologists have been discussing humans for the past century, while the philosophers and wise thinkers figured it out thousands of years ago. It's not rocket science, and I'm not talking about psychology here, I'm talking about your problems. The thing is, nobody told you that you could solve anything you want on your own. When you were a kid, you sought your parents for everything. That introduction to relying on others shaped your brain, giving you the tendency to always look to others instead of solving your own issues. Now, my question to you is, how often have you tried to detach yourself from any external sources of solutions and information and create your own solutions? You probably haven't, and in today's world, it is even more unlikely because we have too much information available to us. But despite all the resources, you're still not finding real solutions because relying on others makes your brain dull. You're not giving it any exercise. Sure, you might find a solution that works temporarily, but your brain will likely create 10 more problems in the coming 30 days. People often ask me, which book should I read to make me smarter? Instead of reading, let me give you a better option, thinking. Every single word written in those books comes from someone's mind, and you've got a brain too. You want to be smart as hell? Here's a simple exercise. Take whatever problems you have, whether it's why do I do this, or why am I stuck in this situation? Write it down, and then write down a solution that comes from your mind, no matter how long it takes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Just keep jotting down whatever ways and solutions your brain suggests. If you need structure, consider 3 things. Why is it happening? How does it affect you and your life? What is the root of the problem? After you've written a solution, it's time to consult the vast online library to compare notes. You don't even have to write it all down. Just isolate yourself for 30 minutes today, lie down on a couch and focus on one problem that has been bothering you for a long time. Remember the 3 divisions: why, how, and the root. Once you have your answers, Google it or search for the problem on YouTube. Why Google it? For perspective. Once you start reading others' takes on the same problem, you'll discover things you didn't consider, missed out on, or forgot. Looking at your problem from different points of view, people with different temperaments, tolerance levels, and schools of thought will give you new insights. How will this help you? When you start solving your problems through thoughtful reasoning, you automatically develop a habit of problem solving. You become more self-reliant, exercising your brain, which sharpens your thinking. You'll also start accepting different points of view because you're no longer in a defensive mode. You'll develop a habit of thinking first and reading later, and you'll gain the ability to assess your brain's capabilities. Comparing your solutions with those of others gives you a clearer picture of where you stand in terms of expansive thinking. You'll notice gaps in your thinking, factors you forgot or didn't examine that others have considered. This realization helps you gauge your intellectual position, which of course is changeable. You'll learn to be unsatisfied with your answers. This exercise awakens a natural curiosity, making you question whether your answer is complete, sufficient, or correct. You also learn a lot about yourself because the answers originate from you. After comparison, you engage in self-analysis and introspection. The most important quality this process brings is patience. When you engage in thinking, patience enters the equation subconsciously. Patience allows for extensive examination and scrutiny of the matter at hand. Lastly, don't forget to collect knowledge. Now, some of you might be thinking that I'm exaggerating, which is understandable. But see, it won't happen after just one session. You have to do this repeatedly. Solve one problem every day. If you run out of problems, tackle general issues that people around you face. For example, why does she keep dating dysfunctional men? Or why does he keep making the same mistakes? But first, address those problems that drive you to buy self-help books and watch motivational videos. It's time you come up with answers on your own. With each attempt, your brain will become sharper through this exercise. And with continued repetition, you'll become a person of incredible reasoning with adaptable sensibilities. I earnestly hope you start doing this. In my last video, I mentioned that I'll be posting exercises and information to help improve your English on Instagram. I've decided to also post questions that encourage thought, creativity, and problem solving. So, if you want to be a part of this, join me on Instagram or any other social media platforms where I'm active. Thank you for watching, and never forget you are awesome.